I wanted to bring to your attention that John Bolton has been indicted. I'm not sure where. It's probably Eastern District of Virginia. Maybe it's Maryland. I don't think they'll indict him in D.C. if they can absolutely help him. 18 counts under the Espionage Act. It's unclear whether one of the accounts is a conspiracy with his mustache. But he's definitely in hot water after they did a search and apparently found some classified material. What's your reaction to not only the indictment of John Bolton, but the indictment of a variety of people who, in various ways, contributed to the lawfare against Donald Trump and conservatives in general?
Well, the left is painting this, of course, as Trump's revenge tour, Trump 2.0. But there wouldn't be any need for a revenge tour if there weren't Trump 1.0 and what we saw happen during the first administration, in which Trump and his team were repeatedly ambushed, almost from day one, actually, when you consider the setup of General Flynn by Vice President Pence, who will soon find himself in hot water over that. I think it's fairly safe to say. Bolton was not a great appointment. He's mostly a Fox News commentator. He had a brief stint at the United Nations. But it never really made much sense to me that someone of his particular persuasion, which is, I never met a war I didn't want to fight, would actually be the national security advisor. And it was no surprise to me that he was dismissed as quickly as he was. This is just what goes around comes around. And in part, it's the ghost of Florida all over again, of Trump's private residence at Mar-a-Lago. And it's also the settling of scores that needs to be done. And Gert, you've been writing eloquently about this, that the left has to learn there are consequences to their actions, that they don't get a free shot at us and then cry uncle as soon as we decide we're going to punch back. So this is the finding out part of the program. And it's going to go on for a while, so they might as well get used to it.
Yeah, I find the whole idea, frankly, baffling that somehow the left does things that are wrong, measurably and provably wrong. Well, I mean, he'll get his day in court, but let's assume, his mustache turns state's evidence on him and rats him out. But I don't understand a Republican Party or a conservative movement that puts aside the concept of righteous retribution. I always thought that, punishment for wrongdoing was a pretty key component of conservative human interaction. Were you there when they held the vote to get rid of retribution against wrongdoers? Because I must have skipped it.
No, but apparently it's part of our nation's justice system now, because just recently that poor kid who got beat up in Washington, so-called big balls from Doge, the judge let off his attackers, who were teenagers, boy and a girl, I believe, saying that her job wasn't to punish, but it was to rehabilitate. Now, when you've got a justice system who thinks it's in the rehabilitation business, you've got a real big problem. And so, again, we're finding out that the way to get the left's attention is to hold them to standards, and to hold them to standards we all share. Also, Kurt, you pointed out, they made the new rules and that they weren't going to like the application of those rules to them when the worm turned. And now it's time for payback, literally. And so they better just get used to it.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.